Hi, I'm Cassie and welcome to Book Art Friday, where I make abstract fan art based on my favorite books. Today we're going to cover one of my favorite fantasy series of all time, An Ember in the Ashes. Now there's actually two different covers and I love them both for very different reasons. So this is the original. You can see it really captures the landscape, like the setting of where it is. Let me also show you the map inside this one. And then this is the redesign, which I also love. It's got so many good colors in it that really reflect our main character. And so I think I'm gonna pull my colors from this. So let's get you pointed out at the table and we'll get started. If you aren't familiar with An Ember in the Ashes, it is a high fantasy set in kind of a Roman-inspired world at a brutal military academy. It follows the story of Laia, who is a slave fighting for her family's freedom, and she is a spy at the academy, and Elias, who is a soldier at the academy, and he is also trying to fight for his own freedom. Their story is full of a lot of twists and turns. It is not a cozy fantasy. In fact, it's probably like the opposite of a cozy fantasy. It's like high anxiety fantasy. There's all kinds of tense situations and complicated feelings that come up throughout this, and it's just so dynamic and fun. I definitely would recommend this for people that are wanting to try out fantasy for the first time, or if you're like a hardcore fantasy fan, like if you like Brandon Sanderson, I would say that Sabaa Tahir's writing is similar to his in a more accessible way. Since this does sit in the young adult genre, it's very easy to read, but also handles some really like mature themes. So I think that adults are going to enjoy it a lot as well. So for our composition, I felt like a black background was appropriate, but I definitely wanted to bring in some of the red and white from the cover. And then I wanted our like composition to be a little chaotic because it feels appropriate for the storyline and the plot. So I just kept a very loose blow dry just to purely like blend the colors together. And then I'm manipulating the paint like with my breath. I have the shape mostly where I want it, so I'm bringing in a little heat. This will pop any air bubbles that got into the paint when I was using the hairdryer and my mouth. And then I felt like all of the gold disappeared when I was blowing, and I really wanted that because it's a prominent feature in the font on the cover. So I'm just adding some gold highlights here and there. When I'm adding these highlights, I try to find a similar shape in the pour and then just accent it with the addition with the color. And here it is all done. It looks really cool close up, but I felt like I wasn't sure if this captured what I was going for, so I decided to do another painting based on the other cover concept. This one is going to turn out very different than the first one. I really wanted this to reflect, like I wanted to pull in the wall, of course, for the military academy. And then I'm using 3 colors to represent the 3 characters we meet across the series. There's Helene, Elias, and Laia. And you will see the colors I layer on here. I've also spritzed the whole thing with a chemical mixture that is going to make all of the paints bubble and mix, and it will give it a really emotional effect. I'm really torn with the end results on both of these paintings, to be honest. There's things I like and things I don't like. I'm not sure that I nailed this one. It might need to have a third try. Let me know what you think in the comments. And either way, I will see you back here next week for another Book Art Friday recommendation from me.